How's it going, everybody? I am Louis, the Average Guy 1983. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to install a 2-channel motorcycle grade dash cam into my son's solar EQ. So let's go ahead and roll the intro so I can do the unboxing for you guys and get started. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, so one of the reasons why you would want to get a dash cam for your electric scooter or e-bike or whatever it is that you might be riding where you can actually fit one on is for your own protection. Some people may think that it's a stupid idea, and I have a GoPro, or I have an Insta360 Ace Pro, or I have an X4, etc. If you want to use that, go ahead. Just keep in mind that if you only have one camera and it's in front of you on your chest, you're not going to be able to see anything behind you. Even if you have mirrors on, the mirrors don't record anything. So this is why I recommend a 2-channel dash cam, specifically the LBW. That's a motorcycle grade dash cam that gives you a front camera as well as a rear camera. This way, if anybody tries to cut you off on the bike lane, if that's where you're respectfully riding, you'll have something to protect you. Whether it be somebody without the front license plate on their car, but they have the rear license plate and they think that they got away with it, like the lady who cut me off on the bike lane, they got another thing coming because you'll have that recorded on your dash cam. So that is really the reason why I'm doing this video as well, is because I also promised several people that I was going to actually show you guys how to do one from start to finish. With that said though, let's go ahead and go over to the table so I can show you guys what you get with your LBW Dashcam. Let's do this. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, do not be alarmed regarding the way the video looks right now. I know it's a little bit dark. I had to actually lower down the brightness of the camera because it was overexposing this white box from the sunlight, and everything just looked really overly exposed, so I do apologize for that. With that said, I want to show you guys how this box looks. This is just a plain white box with the label, just identifying what's inside of the box. That's it. That's all you get. Unfortunately, these boxes do not come vacuum sealed with any kind of plastic to protect them from tampering. It also doesn't come with a piece of tape to put up in the front, so just know that when you get your dash cam, it should be brand new. All of the ones that I have gotten have been brand new with 0 issues so far. This is actually the 5th one I'm going to be installing of the LBW Dashcam, and I did want to apologize formally for misinforming you guys. It turns out that in this manual there is an app called KaiCam 2 that you can download from either the App Store or you can download from Google for Android and be able to get access to your video footage and even live footage from your smartphone with the app. And I was unaware that I have that, so I do apologize sincerely. However, I did want to let you guys know that because I have multiple of these LBW dash cams, they all have the same Wi-Fi name and the same Wi-Fi password, and I have not been able to change any of that. So the app has a really hard time trying to connect to the other scooters that I have that have the LBW connected to it. For example, I was able to connect to my friend's Dualtron X Limited, but I wasn't able to connect to my Roadrunner Pro, just as an example. So I'm not sure what can be done to fix that. I tried to see if I could change the Wi-Fi information as well as the password, and it doesn't let me do it through the device itself. So I think this is just something that's like a permanent thing. However, if you only have one scooter and you're only going to be buying one of these dash cams, you have nothing to worry about. It's always going to connect for you. So I just want to let you guys know that it does have that, and I will show you guys later on the app on how it works, and hopefully it works with my sons. Otherwise, I'm just going to have to take out the Dualtron and basically show you guys how it looks on that with the app. But with that said, this is what you get first. So let me go ahead and lay everything out on this table so you guys can see what you get outside of the box. But as you guys can see, you get a piece of foam here, and then you get the dash cam and everything underneath. So let me go ahead and get all of this set up for you guys. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, so hopefully you guys can hear this okay. I do apologize for any screaming you may hear from kids in the background. Unfortunately, I live right next to a private school and the kids are outside right now. That's only one disadvantage of being able to record videos outside of my yard, is the fact that I have no control over the outside ambient noise. So I do apologize for that. However, what you do get out of the box is basically the owner's manual, like I showed you guys, the LBW Dashcam that you see here. In the back, you see the 3 wires. You have the black cable, which is for your power, and your 2 yellow cables, which are for your front and rear dash cam. One thing I do not like about this camera versus the Chiggy is that it doesn't tell you which one of these wires is the front and which one is the rear. That's freaking annoying. The only way you're going to be able to find that out is by going under the settings for the camera and showing the video recordings of front and rear or front and back. And you'll be able to see there which camera is actually the front and which one is the rear. And then just before you start zip tying everything down, disconnect the wires from here and reroute them appropriately to where they actually have to go, and then you can go ahead and zip tie everything and organize everything on your electric scooter. The other thing you get is, for some reason on my son's dash cam, he got 4 of these little sticky pad tapes for the camera mounting. However, the one that I got on my Roadrunner Pro only came with 2, and the one that I got from my friend Mo Cricket for his Dualtron X Limited came with 3. And now the one for my son here actually came with a total of 4, so that's kind of weird. So out of the box, you may get 2, 3, or even 4 of these little sticky tape thingies for your dash cam. Just keep in mind that, you know, you could use 3M double-sided tape so that you can be able to like mount this a little bit better versus this. This is not that good of a quality, so I'm still going to be using zip ties to be able to make sure that this stays properly mounted on my son's scooter. You also get these little bags. There's 3 of these, but I took 2 of them out. But you get 3 little bags with 2 screws inside, so you can be able to screw on the dash cam to plastic or wherever you feel that's necessary to stick them on if you need to. You don't have to use that. Again, I'm going to be using zip ties with the sticky pads, so that's nothing to worry about. And here in these white bags, you get the actual camera itself. They're identically the same. They even have the same information on the cables, just 1080p up to, it says here basically 1080p WDR on the camera, but you could use, like I said before, 2K resolution, which is 1440p. I recommend you change it to the highest resolution to get the best video quality possible. In this bag right here, you actually get all of the mounting hardware for your dash cam, starting with the rear bracket and the main bracket that's actually going to be getting installed into the handlebar of your choice. Obviously, you can use a handlebar extender like what I'm using, or you can try to mount it directly onto your handlebar. It does have different bracket sizes that you can use on this right here, so just keep that in mind. And the rest of the hardware that's in there, including small screws, you do not want to lose, because moving forward you have the cable of being able to use this with USB-A, which is what I'm going to be using and what I recommend. And you have this cable right here, which reduces the voltage from 12 volts 3 amps down to 5 volts 2 amps if you have a motorcycle. And then you have your extension cables for your front and rear dash cam if it's needed. We're only going to be using one, which is for the rear dash cam. You got your lens hood for the sunshade here. You got zip ties, electrical tape if needed, and then the last thing is going to be your TPMS. So that's all you get out of the box. So with that said, let me go ahead and start showing you guys what we're going to be needing to be able to do this installation. Alrighty, my friends, so hopefully you guys can see this okay. So what I have here right now is 3 different battery choices, some wiring to be able to fish the cable down for the dash cam into the stem of the scooter, and then some wire cutters to be able to cut this cable so that this way I'll be able to get the appropriate length that I'm going to be needing, as well as a hex key set. Depending on your scooter, you may need the star kind or this regular hex key size to remove the deck from your scooter to get access to the inside and route your wiring for your dash cam. So this one right here, I'm going to go ahead and put a link for you guys in the description, but as you guys can see, this is just an 18 gauge like fishing metal wire. You just get out what you need for the length, just enough to be able to run it down to the bottom of the stem and pull out the cable so that you don't have to worry about the cable getting stuck in the middle of the stem and not being able to get it out. That's all that's for. Alrighty, so right here you guys can see that I have 3 batteries, right? I'm always going to recommend you guys whatever I feel is the best bang for your buck, but there are other people that have extra money and will be willing to get a better quality battery even if it has less ampage, and it's just preference. So I'm going to talk to you guys about these 3 batteries real quick, because one of these batteries is going to be used to power the dash cam. You can use either one though, so that's the convenient part. But my favorite battery has always been this Dewalt one. As you guys probably know, I'm a big fan of Dewalt, and I have a lot of their Dewalt tools. This battery is a 5 volt 10 amp hour battery, and it outputs 5 volts at 2 amps. Convenient part about this is that you'll get 5 hours of usage for your dash cam even if you have the brightness set to maximum. Obviously, if you lower it down to 50%, you might get a little bit more battery life. But because the dash cam only realistically requires 5 volts 1 amp. I just want to let you guys know that this one here, I'll put a little picture here so you guys can see how much this battery is worth. But this is a good battery. I've always used this. They're reliable. It uses USB-C for the charging and USB-A for the output, and you can use both the USB-C and the USB-A individually, not together at the same time, to be able to get power out. Because this dash cam does have a USB-A plug, this is something I recommend that you don't have to worry about getting a special adapter for. And if all you need is less than 5 hours of use for your dash cam, this is going to be the perfect value at its price point. The next battery, which is the one that I highly recommend, is going to be this one from Talentcell. I'll make sure to put, again, a little picture on the screen so you guys can see this battery. But this battery has multiple uses here. When you turn it on, it shows a green light at the bottom here, and then it has a charger already that it comes with, and it has 2 different plugs. It has your black plug that's like a 12 volt input output for your charging, and then you have a yellow plug that's 9 volts only, and then you have your USB-A plug at the top that gives you a ridiculous amount of power. Now this is a 12 volt battery. However, when you use it under 5 volts, you get 23 amps. So in total, I was able to get 11.5 hours using this with the LBW Dashcam under USB-A. So this is the best value, and you can see the pricing here on the screen. It's ridiculous how much cheaper this is to the next one I'm going to show you. But this is a good battery. I also use the same exact type battery, same model and same everything, for my ambient lighting on my Roadrunner Pro. In fact, this is the battery for the dash cam on the Roadrunner Pro as well. So now I have 2 of these because I really like how well they work. With that said, this is the last one. This is an Anchor battery. This is like a prime power battery, and this is a really high quality battery. It has really good high brand cells. I think it's Samsung, and this one has 5 volts 12 amp hours for the battery pack, and it only has 2 USB input/output combo thingies here. So you do need to get a USB-C to USB-A adapter to be able to use it with the dash cam. But again, it only gives you about 6 hours of use out of this one for the price that you see on the screen. So from all of these 3 batteries, this is the one that I recommend for you based on the best, bang for your money. And I think that you will be very satisfied with this battery because it has multiple uses. With that said, let's go ahead and start getting the scooter ready to start installing the dash cam wiring and get everything going. Alrighty, my friends, hopefully you guys can see this okay. This is the top of the scooter here. You guys can see there's some wire loom we're gonna have to remove. This is like a phone cable type wire loom, but it's just like kind of coiled up, so we just have to unravel it from the top. It's a short one, so you don't have to worry about it being like all the way deep inside of the pocket here, but we do have to remove it to be able to run the cable for the dash cam here for the rear camera only. So hopefully you guys can see that okay. I do apologize if my hands got in the way, but I just want to give you guys an example of what needs to be done. Sometimes you may have to pull the cable up a little bit higher to get the rest of the wire loom off. You guys can see it right here. There's still plenty in there. See, there we go. So you just kind of have to tug it out a little bit. There we go. So this is going to be the first one to get out, and then the next one is going to be the one in the rear. We can wait for this one for later on because this is like the last thing that needs to be done for just organizing your cables once everything gets installed onto the handlebar extender. So we're going to go to the bottom now and unravel that. Alrighty, my friends, so this right here is a lot longer, but you just basically do the same thing that you've seen me do at the top. We basically just want to pull this wire out a little bit, and as you see me pulling it out, look, there's the ending of the wire loom right there. So all we got to do now is just untangle this again, like I said earlier, and we can get access to the cabling all the way to the bottom right here. In the bottom here, my son did have some kind of glue on here that was black that just peeled off. So I'm going to have to use some kind of silicone sealant in the same black color to cover this area right here, because it's actually exposed to the elements and that's not a good thing. But I'm going to go ahead and finish unraveling this off camera just so you guys can see how this goes, just like this. And once I get it all off, like you're seeing right here, I'm taking it off. We'll go ahead and get started with the removal of the deck. Alrighty, my friends, so we have a 3mm hex key. All we need to do is just take off the screws here. There's a total of 10. What you want to do with this is you want to make sure that you have it straight, not slanted, so that it doesn't strip the screw. Some of these are a little bit overly exaggeratedly tight, so just be real careful when you're doing this. Depending on your scooter, they may be tight or not tight enough. So again, apply a little bit of pressure here like this with your finger and try to keep things balanced out and start turning the key. There we go. See, this one is a little bit hard. There we go. See, now it's loosening up. There we go. And this one came off. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop the video here. I'm going to remove all the other screws and then we'll go ahead and start re-recording and lift up the deck. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, so hopefully you guys can see all of this okay. So we got all 10 screws off already. The next thing to do is just to lift up the deck. To lift it up, lift up the deck lid from the back first and then start sliding it outwards like this. And now we have access to the deck area where we're going to be running the cable for the rear dash cam. Right here you might be able to see it does say 52 volts, 18.2 amp hours, so 946 watt hours. So this explains why this scooter can actually achieve a maximum speed of 40 miles per hour. That's pretty legit. So you can see both the sine wave controllers here, one here and one in the bottom here. And what we're going to be doing is there's a grommet right here that's made out of rubber that we're going to be pulling upwards to be able to squeeze in the wire for the rear dash cam. So let's go ahead and zoom out so you guys can see how I'm going to be running it through the actual deck. Alrighty, my friends, so what we're going to be needing next, now that we have the deck open, is going to be this 18 gauge wire. It's technically to fish the camera cable. I went with this because this was a lot easier to use for installing the wire without things getting stuck. So I cut about 3 feet of this stuff, and what we're going to do is we're going to run it in through here to make sure it comes down all the way to the bottom here, and then we're going to attach the edge of the dash cam cable to this part here, tie it down and pull it out from the bottom. So let's go ahead and get started with that. Here we go. Keep the cable as straight as possible. Run it all the way down. There we go. See, now it's down here. You can kind of see it right there, sort of, right? I do apologize for the very poor lighting. I know it's overexposed. Now that we have the cable right here, I'm going to go ahead and bring you guys closer so we can tie down the dash cam cable. All right, so let's go ahead and take off this wire tie. We don't have to worry about that. Again, this part goes up here. This part goes in here. So what we need to do here is just run this here and tie it over the cable as good as you can. Just like that, okay? Okay, once it's tied down, you want to turn it upside down like this. Just like that, and start pulling it down from the wire. So we want to start inserting it to the bottom. So let me go ahead and just run it through here real quick, just like that. Okay, we got the main part in. I'm gonna zoom out so you guys can see how I'm going to pull the wire out. Alrighty, my friends, so hopefully you guys can see everything okay. I'm going to start pulling this metal wire down as I push this down as well. So here we go. It could sometimes get stuck depending the situation, and if it does, you want to make sure it doesn't. See that? There's the cable right there. All right, so we've officially ran this cable. You can see right here, we already have it in the bottom, and if I keep pulling, look, we got this in here. You definitely want to make sure that you have plenty of room in here with the wire, so that this way, if you have your son using one of these, the height is adjusted, you know, to the lowest setting. So as he gets older and he lifts up this scooter stem, this will also continue to work and it won't be over tightened. So we just want to just shove it in there and just leave it freely in there inside of the stem, so we don't have to worry about that. But now this here is done, so we're going to go ahead and get this wire thing off of this main cable, and then we'll run it through the grommet here on the bottom. Alrighty, my friends, so the next thing to do is going to be removing this grommet here from the edge. So we just want to kind of grab it a little bit from here. It's a little difficult to remove, but we can do it. Ouch. Fudge. Okay, so there you go. See, we go. We got it off. See that? So what we need to do now is slide this edge here into here and just shove it down there just like that. See that? Just like that. And again, my friends, every scooter is different, but this is how we're doing it on the solar EQ. And then the last thing is going to be running it through the bottom. You want to kind of put your finger in the bottom so you can kind of get access to the wire. So here we go. Hopefully we can get it through. This is usually one of the toughest points here. Okay, it seems like we are able to kind of fit it in through there. A little difficult, but it is indeed possible. And here we go, my friends. We just ran the cable. Just like this. Make sure you just shove it down as you're pulling. Do not pull this cable hard, because since it is metal, you can actually strip the coating of the wire here. So be careful when you do this. Okay, that cable's kind of twisting. It shouldn't be twisting. Why are you twisting? Do not twist. Who told you can twist? All right, here we go. All right, this is more than enough wiring. So now what we're gonna do here, we're just gonna take a little bit up, push it upwards a little bit, and then we can start sealing the deal here. Okay. We only need this to be up to here, so let's go ahead and start grabbing some of this wire again. Oh, get that away from there. We don't want to mess with that, because if we ever need to remove the motor for the front to change the tire, we're going to have to get access to this. Okay, so the last thing here is just going to be to put this grommet back on. Alrighty, my friends, and I have officially wired up the bottom area of the dash cam cable and everything with the wire loom. So now we're going to go ahead and zoom out and start fixing up the top before we start mounting the rear dash cam. Alrighty, my friends, so I'm going to get you guys closer real quick, but this cable is too long to fish all the way down for like the remaining part of the cable. So I'm just going to grab it like this, and I'm going to make it as organized as possible and zip tie it down to the front, where the front of the dash cam is going to be at, and then just make it look as nice as possible. So I'm just going to go ahead and add this wire loom into this area here, and then we'll go ahead and start with the installation of the main dash cam, then go to the back of the scooter and basically run the actual dash cam cable in through the deck. Alrighty, so right here, the way we want to just do this is we just want to add this wire loom up from the top here, just like this, and then start kind of shoving it down just a tiny bit. You see how I'm kind of moving it inwards like that? That's as far as we want it to go, and now we can start tying down the rest of it. This is just so it looks like stock, so it doesn't look like anybody did anything to it. And it's the same method for the bottom that I didn't actually get to show you guys, because I did that part off camera, since that thing was a lot longer than this one here. But you guys kind of get the idea, no? I hope so. Almost done. It's not going to be perfect, especially because now we have a thicker cable. And there we go. That's it right there. Alrighty, my friends, so we got this done right here. So let's go ahead and just go to the bottom real quick so we can install the rear dash cam, and then just go ahead and get that out of the way, and then we'll start up at the top. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, and now we're at the back of the scooter. We're going to be installing this rear camera already. I already have a little sticky tape on there that I decided to put on before starting the recording. Unfortunately, this cable is 18 inches long, so it's too long for the back area for this cable to like stick out from the edge. There will be no space to put this cable properly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually mount the camera right here at the top, and I'm also going to use zip ties. So we're going to have it like this, just angled, and I am going to loosen up the screw on the edge so that we can be able to like turn it to the left or turn it to the right to align the camera lens straight. From there, this cable here is going to go in through this hole down the back area. We're going to carefully zip tie it down to the brake line cable, but not too tight, just loose, so that we can still have some room here to move this cable back and forth if need be. And then this part of the little plug here is going to go into this area here, just the way you see it. And then this end of the plug will plug in here, and we'll just cram the cable into the inside of this crevice area. So let's go ahead and get started with that now. We are going to try to carefully lift up this little area right here. It's like a foam material, so that's really cool. And be able to run the cable through there. So let's do that now. First thing we want to do is at least take off the adhesive tape thingy here. And hopefully you guys can see this okay. There we go. This area is clean because I cleaned it with alcohol. We're going to run it right in the center. Perfect. Just like that. Yeah, that looks good right there. Okay, so we're going to have this cable a little bit loose, kind of like this, okay? Just enough room because once I get it on there, I can just loosen it up from the bottom. It's not a big deal. So from there, we want to peel this side open a little bit. So you can do it with your nails or a pry tool. Try to get this area off real quick. It's not going to be perfect, but this is just so we can run the cable here. See that? That exposes this little hole right here. Hopefully you guys can see that there. And we're just going to shove this in here like this and cover this back up just like that. See that? So now that's it. That's on right there. Connect this cable here. As you screw it down, you want to start shoving the cable inwards until it's properly sealed up. From there, we now just shove this cable on the edge of the battery pack here. We could even lift up the cable for the brake line and just put this underneath. And there we go. That part is done. Now we can go ahead and start putting the lid on. So I'm going to take care of that off camera. And then we'll go ahead and start putting the zip ties on here so we can align the actual camera here and give you guys a better view, because I know that not everything looks perfectly here when it comes to the focus. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, so I hope you guys can see this okay, because it's starting to get dark. We've been out here for a little bit. I had to stop the video multiple times to do things around the house, which sucks, but that's just life, man. Anyways, I was able to put the deck lid on already. All the screws were perfectly aligned to the holes, unlike the Dualtron. They had some of the holes perfectly aligned with the deck lid and some holes misaligned. They made it very difficult to install the screws. What we have here now is just 2 zip ties that we're going to be using. This is actually part of the kit, and a wire cutter so that we can put the zip tie on the camera in the rear. So all we need to do here is just install the first zip tie, run it through the bottom first. And what you don't want to do quite yet is you don't want to fully tighten it down. You want to wait till you do the second one and then tighten it down. Just like that. Hopefully you guys can see it. Oh, well, that broke. Let me grab another zip tie. Okay, here's the second one. Let's try again. What we want to do here is try to put them in the middle, just like that. There we go. Zip ties are on. Can go ahead and move the camera down. And there we go. Now the camera's installed. Now we can go ahead and move this up and down to wherever we need it. Loosen up the screw a little bit more, turn it side to side until we perfectly align it with it being straight. So I'm gonna leave this towards the end. So we're gonna go up to the front and start installing the actual dash cam itself. Alrighty, my friends, and we're at the front of my son's scooter. What we're going to be doing now is installing this bracket here. Be real careful because this can get loose very easily. It comes off, you know, just like that. And you need to put 2 pieces here to be able to get the bracket to properly fit onto the handlebar extender. So this part right here is rotatable, so you can actually rotate it from the bottom. You just have to loosen up the screw and then install it. So what we're going to do right now is install this rear bracket first. Just like that, how you see it there. And then put this one on. Just like this. And what we're going to start doing now from here is tightening up the screw from the back. So let me go ahead and take care of that now. Remember, my friends, to always counterclock your screw so that it can align with the thread of the screw hole. That's really important. There we go. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, and now that this bracket has been installed and not fully screwed down, I wanted to make sure that it's loose enough for me to move around to either my left or my right to make sure that when I install the display with this bracket here that you see on my hand, it won't be too much in the way of this or too much in the way of this. We want to make sure that it's centered, but it looks nice where it's supposed to be positioned at. And again, this could be moved this way. And this bracket right here does have a screw at the edge that you can loosen up, where you can actually tilt this forward or back. So this way it has good positioning on the dash cam itself. So I'm going to go ahead and install this bracket onto the display, and then we'll go ahead and install it here. So let me take you guys to that now. Alrighty, my friends, so let's go ahead and put this bracket on. So it does come with some little rubber grommets that you can kind of see there. Those go on the inside and it goes in this way, just like this. And we start installing the screws one at a time. Insert a screw there, insert a screw there, and insert a screw there. So you may want to press them down a little bit, just like that. Same thing here, and the same thing here. And then insert them in their locations. Okay, remember guys to always counterclockwise your screw before inserting it, so that this way it goes into its groove properly and it doesn't strip the threaded screw hole. So that's one. Alright, that's going to be two right there, and the last one over here. And you do have to apply a little bit of pressure because it gets stuck on that silicone or rubber padding that's meant to provide like shock proof for the camera or the dash cam device itself. And at the end you just want to give it just a little snuggy fit, nothing too crazy, just enough for it to stick. And there we go, it's installed. Now the last thing to do is just put this screw on with the mount. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and grab the dash cam here. We're going to run the cables down this way, and we're going to place this right here. Make sure it's straight. There we go. Insert the screw, hold it down a little bit. Forget to counterclockwise first, and then screw it down. Alright, finishing up tightening this thing here. I want to scoot it forward and then tighten this down real quick. There we go. Alright, my friends, now it's installed. Now we can go ahead and start aligning it however we want to have it on the display. We can have it like this or straight like this. So what we want to do here is just go to the front real quick and start aligning the display. Alrighty, my friends, so we have the display here. So now that we have it on here, now we can just go ahead and start moving this just a tiny bit, just to make sure that it doesn't get in the way of anything. Move it a little tiny bit to the right. I just don't want it to be too close to this edge right here, so I can see it from my angle here, just to make sure that it moves fine. Now that that's done, I can go ahead and start tightening up the screw from the actual bracket itself. Alrighty, next thing is going to be tilting the display. So we loosen the screw in the back here on the side, and now we can tilt it up or down. So we're going to tilt it about maybe right around here. And that looks pretty good there. So when he's standing right here, he can see his display here. Not bad. Now we could move it a little bit more back, like this. and then tilt this a little bit further like this. That looks a lot better. All right, cool. Well, we got this on. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish tightening this up real quick. Now, unfortunately, though I did tighten up this bracket in the bottom, it's still moving a bit. So hopefully he doesn't have too much of an issue. The reason why this could be moving a little bit too easily, it could be because of the fact that this handlebar extender might be not thick enough. But this is the way it's going to be displayed now. So if its phone goes on here right now, for example, we'll use my phone as an example. It shouldn't really get in the way. You see that? His phone is a lot smaller than that, so it should look good the way it is right there. Now what I'm going to start doing is tightening up the wires from the LBW Dashcam, and then install the front camera as well, and then put on the pouch with the battery to test everything out. Alrighty, my friends, hopefully you guys can see this okay. I went ahead and I installed the battery pouch that I'm going to be using right here, so you guys can see how I have it on. And we're just going to be inserting this cable for the USB right here, connect it, and again, as we're screwing this down and it's loose, squeeze it in more until it's fully installed and seated. From there, this cable is going to be traveling in through the inside of here, this area here. So we want to just insert this here and run this cable through here. So unzip the battery pack, which I'm going to be using the Dewalt one here. All we need to do here is plug this into this battery pack here. It will start the camera on immediately. You can see that there's lights now starting it up. And now what we want to do is just put this in here like this, and then put the cable on the inside. Now when it comes to the pouch that you may want to get, it depends on your type of scooter. I just had this as a spare, but now it's on. The camera's literally on right now. I don't have a camera plugged in yet. So what we're gonna do now is plug in this cable to one of these lines here. I'm not sure which one is which because they don't tell you. So we're gonna just randomly plug it into this one. And we're gonna go to the front of the display, and we're gonna see which one it is. Alrighty, my friends, so we are now at the display of the scooter here for the LBW Dashcam. To find out what we connected it to for the rear camera, okay, it's already playing, so that's cool. I'm going to go ahead and tap the little replay button, and this is how you can find out where your camera is at. So right now it is connected to the right one. Right there it says R. So if we go to front, it's just going to show a blue screen because there's no camera connected. And again, even though you see all these little video files that has just literally been happening just with it being on, you can always go to your main menu on the screen right here under settings, and then go down to format SD card. You can go ahead and format it once you're done with everything, and then start out fresh. So I wouldn't try doing it until the cameras are properly installed and you have everything rolling. But so far we're doing really good with this. So let's go ahead and finish installing the front camera and we'll get going. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and stick this camera on, and be careful because I've already dropped it. So we're gonna put it right in the center here, around right here. Let me see here just to make sure it's straight. Yeah, it is straight. Okay, so we're gonna do it like that. I'm gonna put the first zip tie, which is a bigger zip tie than what I was expecting it to be, but it's not a big deal. Now again, the installation, my friends, is going to vary on your scooter, but I want to make sure that I do get this on here. Okay, seems like I got it on. All right, just gotta get it onto the back a little bit, slide it back in here, just like that, so it doesn't get in the way of this either. For the charging port of this, I want to make sure that this can still charge. There we go. Alrighty, camera's on. What I want to do now is just use two smaller zip ties on the edge here. What are these zip ties that come from the manufacturer suck? Okay, zip tie there, and another zip tie on this side here. This is just to make sure that the big zip tie that I put around the edges don't come off from this camera when you're riding. So, and again, these zip ties are really sucking. I'm gonna have to get a different type. So just be aware that though the company here is generous, LBW, in sending zip ties, they don't seem to be perfect. All right, cool. This is on. Now we just have to position the camera according to what the front looks like and get it done. All right, so I have all the zip ties on here already, so I'm gonna start cutting the little zip tie ears. Make sure everything stays legit here. And again, depending your installation, you may not have to do what I just did, but I figured I would just let you guys see how I was installing this on my son's scooter. So now the last thing that needs to go on is going to be this camera right here. There we go. Alrighty, that's done. The last thing is going to be to straighten out his camera. So his camera is currently upside down, so I need to fix it upwards. Let me take care of that now by loosening up the screw here on the edge here that you can see here. And now we can go ahead and start turning this. Straighten out the scooter. There we go. And now hold this down the way it is so that the camera doesn't move, and start tightening it down. I know it's dark and I apologize, my friends. This is just so you guys know how dedicated I am to this and the promise I wanted to keep to all of you regarding this. So last thing is to make sure that this is straight. Camera straight on my end here. So now we're gonna go ahead and start tightening this back up. And hold on to the camera at the same time with your fingers here to make sure that it doesn't move out of place as you tighten it. There we go. Now if I turn the camera, this is perfect. Brilliant. It's all done. Alrighty, my friends, so now that this camera here is officially installed, it ain't gonna go anywhere. It's actually nicely put in. I still have access to the horn here at the bottom to charge it up under the USB-A port, so we're good here. The next thing is just going to be tightening up these cables that you see here. Alrighty, my friends, I do apologize, man. I had to switch to my Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra, man. I'm so sorry. It's really dark outside now, man, and my camera's memory ran out, so I am really sorry. But let me give you guys a close-up of the scooter now that everything's done. Right here, like you guys can see, I have the front camera mounted so you guys can get a good look there. I did curve the bracket and I put zip ties around the horn area, and I still have access to the USB port, the USB-C port, to charge it up. So this is pretty cool, and these are all of my son's accessories. And the bottom, you can see the wires tidied up. This is the best I can do based on the type of wiring I have. And right here is the Dewalt battery mounted with the pouch. My son's JBL Charge 5 speaker. Up in the front, we have the quad lock, all the information, and this is the dash cam here for the rear. So even when you push on the brake here, you don't see it interrupting anything with the brake light. On the rear, this is the dash cam here, already mounted. This is not going to go anywhere. Wiring done. All I have to do there is add some silicone glue to it so that I can cover up that hole. There was originally silicone glue on there too, and I peeled it off. But this is the front. If I turn on the light and we go to the front dash cam, this is what it looks like. So that's what it looks like in real life, and this is what it looks like off the display itself. So you guys can see that it's on. And yeah, This is the whole dash cam project thing. So hope you guys enjoyed the video, man. This is it. And regarding the app, I'll show you guys in another video how the app works. But yeah, this is good here so far. I'm not going to install the TPMS because I rather leave it with this one here. I like this one a lot. So this is it here for the installation. If you guys like the video or appreciate, if you guys enjoyed the video and found it useful, please be sure to hit the thumbs up button for me and share it with anybody that may be interested in installing a dash cam. All of the accessories that I have on here, I will make sure to put it in the description, so make sure to click on the description to look for Amazon links. With that said, I will catch you guys later. Thank you so much. Bye guys.